And then my little Chiquita Travel Guitar. This is Billy Gibbons and I designed these back in 79, 78. And that's when we got the patent on it. There was a period of 5 years where I leased the patent to the International Music Corporation, the Hondo people, and they marketed this and sold a bunch. But because of the way they sold stuff, it was trying to get as many out there as that. And it's really important on these smaller travel guitars that the setup is correct, because you've got a shorter scale, and if you want that regular tuning, you've really got to set it up perfect so it plays in tune.
And so basically you're saying, politely saying, they didn't set them up first.
No, they didn't. I mean, that was not their goal. So when that expired, I was very happy to get it back myself so I could set each one up myself.
You think did that hurt the sales of your sales of it?
To me it did, because it bothered me that people were buying it.
It's your baby, and they're buying a junked up version.
Oh, it just doesn't play right.
Now those are electric.
Right. Yeah.
So you'd have to have an amp with them to.
Yeah, a lot of people buy this and like one of those, what are they, Pandora's box, with the headphones, and they're in a world of their own.
Have you done any acoustic travel guitars at all?
I haven't.
Yeah.
No.
Like there's a few of the backpackers, and I've like had a couple of them I played and was reviewing. They almost have a strange sound to them.
Well, they do. I mean, but
you could almost use it in some way in recording or something.
Right,
it sounds so haunting, like that.
Well, it's a lot to ask for a little. The backpacker just does not have enough body. Chamber to really produce a good sound. But I have always bought the little requintos and instruments in Mexico for travel, because they're fun little guitars, and if you busted it, it's not the end of the world. You just got to go back to Mexico.
Get another one.
Yeah, it's a good reason to go.
That Blue Ridge that you're fixing up there, are you fixing that for someone?
No, I sell a few
instruments.
Instruments.
I've read about them. I've never really seen them.
Well, they're made in China, but they're well made, actually.
I mean, some of the guilds that are made in China are decent too.
Yeah. No, I try to offer some low-end beginner guitars that I know I can set up well, but don't cost too much.
Somebody started. That's one of the things. We were doing a series on reviewing guitars and what you want to get for somebody who's starting. I think you don't want to buy a $3,000 guitar for somebody.
No, you don't. But if that's going to be their beginning to play a guitar, you want to give them every chance you can.
Right.
And the action, the playability, that's when it's going to be most important. If you can get it as easy as possible and it's playing in tune, they're more likely to want to keep playing and eventually buy that.
Nice guitar.
Nice guitar. Yeah.
When you play, there's a lot of companies that make low-end stuff that's decent. So.
There are. It's getting better and better and better. Just the technology is certainly. I think it started in Japan. It used to be things made in Japan were considered such junk. Then they rose up to the height of American labor, and Korea was considered the worst. Then it was China, Indonesia, India, but they're all, the same technicians are moving to
from place to place.
And
as the people learn how to do it, as you have a tradition and years of experience, then
you get
the quality. I mean, Mexican, vendors are nice guitars.
They are. They're very nice.
Now, what's your website is?
ErlewineGuitars.com.
And people can go look at your guitars there.
Right.
And you do ship stuff out for people?
All the time.
I'm assuming you produce guitars. You just make guitars, but you also will make two people's specifications
Absolutely,
as well.
Yeah.
So if anybody has a dreadnought and they want a particular thing on it, you're all for it.
Right. Yeah. I do restoration, customizing, as well as making.
And when you do restoration, do you go out and look for the parts for somebody comes in here with a mid-60s Hummingbird or something.
Sure,
You go out and find
sure.
the
With
part.
eBay nowadays, you can get anything. You know, you just pay for it.
Right.
But it's much easier to get original parts, you know, and really do that right.